y'all. Welcome to another episode of Just Two Girls Who Work Together and That Guy. I am 1/3 of your co-host, and I am back with my people. What up, Keisha? What up, Rashad?
Hey.
Oh, energy, please. So we are back with another episode. We've done this before with our top 5 or favorite 5. We did it last time with remixes. This time we are back with 5 of our favorite songs with samples in them. So super excited to get this underway. But before we jump into that, just want to remind you guys to go out and vote. Right now you can early vote. I believe that is until the 29th of October. And then the actual election will fall on November the 3rd, which is a Tuesday. Please get out and vote. Not telling you who to vote for, but make sure you get out there and vote and let your voice be heard. So moving right along, we're going to jump right in. And so how we're going to do this is we'll list the song of choice and then the sample from the song and give a little bit of facts there. And we're going to start off with Rashad, that guy.
Well, I thought Keisha was going first.
All right. She just flipped the script and everything.
Actually, I'm wrong. It's Keisha, go ahead.
But let's say that sampling is a staple in music, and you know, the viewers, if you want to, you should do some research because it's a whole thing on sampling, where it comes from, why it started, blah 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 blah. But yeah,
and it's definitely heavy in the hip hop community. Thanks for the little segue, because my first one is a hip hop track, and you're too much. I can't deal with you. But my first one, of course, is Big Sean as.
Okay.
The reason why this came to me first is because in my in one of my classes for music business, I remember talking about this, and we were actually talking about the fact that it's like 2 samples in one, because he samples Can't Touch This, by MC Hammer, but that also samples Super Freak by Rick James. So it's a lot going on there. So my copyright class, it was just like an interesting discussion. So that was the first thing that I thought of whenever we decided to do samples. I feel like it was a great track. I was, of course, already a Big Sean fan, but with his album, this was on the first album, I think. Yeah. And it was just a creative beat. I feel like it was super dope to intertwine, the new school and the old school that way, and actually bring in like 3 generations, not just 2.
Yeah, I think that song is kind of the song that kind of like set him off, right?
Yeah, I feel like that was the big one. That and then the Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay.
Right, because I have distinct memories of when that song was out, just like hearing it on the radio all the time and things like that. And I do think the sample was used well, because it's like it uses a sample that samples something else, but they're using 2 different parts of the songs. So like the MC Hammer part is the that part, and then like the Rick James like all that. Yeah. So like I think that's really cool the way it was pieced together. So I agree, like having the old and the new in the same song together is pretty cool. And I think songs that do samples like that are always really unique to me, that have like a part from the original, but then apart from the song that it sampled, and then I don't know. I'm getting confused, but you guys see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think you have to shout out the producers or beat makers that come up with these ideas to do that and like merge these songs. Genius ideas. But that's one of my favorites too from him. So.
Okay. Well, I guess it's me.
Rashad, it's your turn now.
What am I going to choose first? Since we're doing hip hop right now, I'll choose the hip hop one. So one of my favorites is Chingy's "Pulling Me Back" featuring Tyrese. And part of that is because hold on, because I didn't realize until today that the song that they sampled is actually a sample of another song, which I had no idea. But they sample SWV's Rain, but then Rain samples, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's Jaco Pastorius, and it's called Portrait of Tracy, and it's just like one little part. It's just one little part in there, but they took that and made a whole SWV song out of it, which I think I love seeing. That's one of my favorite parts about sampling. When I think I find producers that do that are really smart. That can take like just the odd part, like, because a lot of samples sometimes use the main part that people know from like an old song or something, but like they'll take like the most insignificant part in the middle or at the end or just a little part in the background, and they'll take it and expand it into something else, and I think that's really cool. And that's what they did with Rain, and then they took that and gave it more of a hip-hop beat with Chingy's Pulling Me Back with Tyrese.
You must say two things. One, that was one of the greatest bass lines in music ever. That bass line itself is just epic.
Yes.
Yes. And sample it does it for me every time. And then to put Clarice on the
right.
He wasn't Clarice yet though.
Because that's what I was going to say. One of my favorite elements is actually Tyrese like yelling in the background.
Yes.
Or whatever. But it just, his tone fits so well over that like it fits really well over that. And that part that Jermaine Dupri is the producer of the Chingy song, and that part that he samples evokes such a feeling because it reminds you of that SWV song. And I think Jermaine Dupri, I mean, that's one of his strong suits, is making these songs that are a little bit more catered to women, like hip hop songs that are a little bit more that think about the women audience more so in the forefront of the song. So yeah, it's one of my favorites.
And you failed to mention that Tyrese was actually in the Rain video.
Oh yeah.
And then for him to come back.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
For him to come back and sing the hook.
I gotta go back and watch it.
That was definitely a full circle moment.
Full circle.
Wow.
For sure. But yeah, that's one of my jams right there.
Yeah, I feel like that was a good comeback record for Chingy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stay with hip hop, and my first one will be from none other than Clifford T.I. Tip Harris. His 2003 album Trap Music had one of, I would say this song rolled the entire summer, but it was Let's Get Away, featuring or produced by Jazzy Faye. First of all, I love the track itself. That whole album was my go-to album, but that particular song, it really rolled for me. And I loved it even more once I found out that it sampled Aretha Franklin's Daydreaming. That's probably one of my favorite Aretha Franklin songs.
Me too.
I even love Tamia's cover of the song. I know.
Yes.
But yeah, I love the Daydreaming. The feel of that song just makes you feel some type of way. You got all the feels, and then for them, the way they sampled it, just it's the words really. Hey, let's get away. They just use that part and sample it. But that song just has a really good summertime. 2003 was a good summer of music, and so that song right there always reminds me of 2003 in the summertime. But I love that song, and I love the sample as well. So that was my first one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that song, so I can't really speak to it. But I do love the song that it's sampled. I love.
Yeah, I'm definitely a T.I. fan, and I remember that song. And I just remember like Jazzy Faye like on the track.
Jazzy Fizzle Productions.
Right, he made his presence known.
Right. But think about it, with Jazzy Faye's background, his father being a member of the Barcades, one of the prominent soul groups, he has that ear for that old school type of music. Yeah. For him to do this just made sense. And he always is gonna give you like that good soul feeling over those trap type of beats. And so this song,
a lot of hip hop fans, a lot of hip hop heads, as much as they don't really know about other genres of music, they fail to realize that their favorite producers and rappers love that soul, that old soul and R&B stuff. Like they love it, and they're always constantly referencing it. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there.
No, you're absolutely fine. But yeah, and if you ever want to go hear Daydreaming by Aretha Franklin, it was on her Young, Gifted, and Black album. So go take a listen to it.
Yeah, we should like make a playlist of
the
songs and the samples.
Yes, we will do that, guys.
Yeah,
at home watching.
Right, it'll be in the comments. But that's how y'all watch this. The description or whatever.
Right.
But okay, on to my next song. Since y'all like Went back a little bit, 2003. I'm gonna go back a little bit. This one is Let's Go with Trick Daddy. I wanted to do one that combined different genres. And, you know, with him bringing the whole rock feel to hip hop, I think this is around the time like crunk was a thing, and that was like super big. And then like Trick Daddy came with this Let's Go track, and I was like, okay, let's go. Right. I love that track. And then also, it reminds me of days, you know, at Auburn football games, because they actually played the real song, Ozzy Osbourne. For those that don't know, it's called Crazy Town. And it's a little nostalgic for me.
It is. It's very nostalgic.
Another one with a great guitar moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
That made that song.
Makes you want to
yes.
Donna.
and it just does something to you whenever you hear it.
Right. And wasn't that, I know you said it was around Crunk was out, but wasn't that around the time too, like it was other rap songs that were incorporating like rock influences at that time?
See,
like,
I couldn't remember any ones that were like hot at that time, but I feel like there were a lot that got hot after.
Little John.
Maybe so.
Little John was big for that. Like
that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. It might have been a little bit afterwards or something, or maybe that kicked it off. But yeah, I like that song.
Same.
All right, well.
To you, Rashad.
Let's see. Look at my notes here. I will do. Okay. So my next one is going to be Mariah Carey's "Make It Look Good." It's on her album "The Elusive Chatteuse." That's one of her more recent ones. This is a very underrated and overlooked track to me. This should have been a single. I came up with a video concept that's great. But it really should have been a single. Time like named it one of the best songs of the year when that album dropped, even though it wasn't a single or anything like that. But it's like such a standout. But anyways, it's a song. It's produced by Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox, and I believe one other guy. It samples the OJ's, one of my favorite OJ songs, "Let Me Make Love to You," and right. Just.
Okay.
Eddie.
Yeah, that song. And like the way they use that sample is so cool. And then it also features Stevie Wonder like playing the harmonica and adding something to the sample. Like he kind of plays with the sample a little bit, like with his harmonica, but he adds like some riffs and stuff, and he's in the background vocals. And it's just a very layered song, like full of samples and extraness and all this stuff. And it's just a really feel-good song. It would have been a great summer single. And it's one of my favorites. One of my favorite sampled songs. And it's more recent, about 2013, 2014, I believe. But yeah.
Oh.
Obviously, you guys don't know that song, so.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm going to have to go listen to that because I've never heard that.
Yeah, I thought it was genius the way they used that sample and made that song. But yeah.
Gotta go listen to that one. Haven't heard that one.
It's gonna be a good playlist, y'all.
Yeah.
So since we're sticking with songs that are kind of like samples that maybe you thought they wouldn't have used, or kind of unique samples, or different genres, I'm gonna go with Maya's 2003 Fallen. Yeah, that such a groove.
Yes.
Yes.
For this song, she sampled the Pharmacide. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Running, can't keep running away.
Right.
That is my jam for sure. That's a really good groove. But then also Fallen is just like, oh my gosh, it takes me back to 2003 being a preteen and being, I guess,
head over heels.
Yeah. Right, seriously. I remember the video, her stalking the guy in the video, or allegedly stalking him. That Mood Ring album was really good. I guess kind of like comeback album for her after being gone for a little minute. But I love that song. Also, I love A Cinderella Story, which Hilary Duff was like my fave. You want to tell me I wasn't going to be Lizzie McGuire. But yeah, that was my movie, and they had that on the soundtrack for that movie as well. But I just love Fallen. I love the way that it makes me feel. Even now, being a 31-year-old woman, it still makes me feel like warm and fuzzy inside. And so really love that song. And I love the sample as well.
Yeah, that song definitely does have a warm, fuzzy feeling. I don't know if it's just because of nostalgia or I feel like there's some of it mixed, but some of it is just the warmness of the track. And because the track is very warm and feeling, and I love that song. I'm with Terica. Me and her used to listen to that song all the time together or whatever and talk about it all the time. And yeah, that's a great song.
Don't forget, Maya's vocals are crushing in the back. The layer on that song, the harmonies, how musical that song is, like the instruments. Yes. Oh my God, it's so good.
And I'm a fan of the original as well that it sampled. Yeah.
I can't say I believe it's Suda Vern. I'm not going to continue, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't want to disrespect them and mess up the name.
Right.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I love the original as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my second one.
Okay, so we on to R&B now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
you never know.
My first R&B one is a more recent one, Exchange, Bryson Tiller. Whenever that track came on and I heard that KP and Envy run, I was like, what? I was so excited because that was my jam.
What song is this? I'm not familiar with this one, I don't think.
It's Exchange. Okay. And they sample KP and Envy, Swing My Way.
Oh, okay, I remember now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to hear it like super slow down and like on a chill, mellow vibe, because that track is a party track. Yeah. Even though like on certain parts of the song it kind of like slows down and then picks back up, like you just want to dance when you hear that. But he totally flipped the script and came with a whole new vibe, and it was a hit. He made it his own, and the beat was super hot, so hot that somebody else used the beat as well. Another favorite of mine, J. Cole. And then everybody was trying to say that he was like slick swagger jacking, but I don't know how true that was. I don't know who recorded first, but at the end of the day, we knew it was a hot beat. So yeah, that's my third.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Bryson Tiller song. I remember it, but I just don't like know it. But the song that it sampled is like classic skating ring music.
Yes.
And takes me back to being a kid for sure.
Me too.
Shout out to KP and Envy because she was giving it on that song, and they complimented each other so well on that song. Mm-hmm. It does nostalgic, takes you back to it's a skating rink.
Yeah.
Where they at now? I want some music.
You know what? I slick have been trying to find them on like social media. Like I
can't find nothing.
For years I've been trying to find KP and Envy, but I don't know what they're doing now.
Off the grid.
Were they Floetry before poetry? They just weren't poets.
Oh man.
Oh, maybe.
Hilarious. Marsha got a new accent. No,
stop it. That's like whenever groups kind of fall off into a different dimension when another one comes through. That's what I feel like happened with Travis Porter whenever the Migos got hot. I was like, they disappeared. They went to a whole other dimension.
Yeah, I totally forgot about them.
Exactly. Somebody else comes through in their spot and you forget they existed.
Absolutely.
Well, my next track is a contemporary R&B track titled Little Freak by Usher.
Okay.
Featuring Nicki Minaj. Oh, did you pick that one too?
No, but that's my jam.
Right. So it features Nicki Minaj on the track. A great verse from her. One of her best when she was just on everybody's song and just killing everybody's song.
She was super hot at that time.
Yes, at that time. But I love that song. It samples Stevie Wonder's "Living for the City." And it's produced by Polo the Don and one other guy, I believe, as well. And what'd you say?
Written by Esther Dean.
Written by Esther Dean, yes. And then
was it really? I love her. I didn't know about that one.
And I love I love the way it's used. They only use it for the hook, but so everything built around it, I really like. It was very unexpected the way when the sample comes in, I was not expecting to hear that, and the way that it's used for the hook is really cool. And then the production, like I said, made around it is really cool. And it's kind of dark. It's like this darkness kind of to it. And yeah, I don't know. One of my favorites by Usher. One of his more unique ones to me, but like kind of underrated at the same time. Like even though it was a single, I don't think it got the play that it could have gotten. But yeah.
Well, I think we said this on his deep dive. We thought that it should have been the first single off the album.
Yeah.
Because it just made sense with Nicki on there. Also, the sample was so recognizable and it was used so well. That is absolutely one of my favorites off of that album for sure.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yep.
Well, you guys are killing me softly. Okay.
Oh, was that a segue?
Actually, I didn't even think about that, but no, actually my next my next one, I'm gonna take it back to 95. If you know me, y'all know I'm like 95, 96, 97, 98 are my years, like for sure. But I'm gonna take it back to 95 with Ladies Love, Cool James featuring Boyz II Men, Hey Lover. Whoa,
I was gonna pick Hey Lover, but I'm glad I didn't since you picked it.
Classic.
First, giving honor to God, who is the head of this song samples Michael Jackson's "Lady of My Life." First of all, I love that song. Michael sounds amazing on that song, but they just used the melody on this track, and Boyz II Men is harmonizing all over the place, and they make you feel, oh my gosh, it's like candy in your ear.
Yeah.
How Wanye is doing Wanye, Sean on
right.
Wanye is doing Wanye. I love it.
He's doing him, and Sean is as well. Just a beautiful merger of R&B and rap on this song, and LL is like he's telling this story of this that he's having. Mm-hmm. Classic hip hop to tell a story, and at that, a love story.
Right.
Love this song. Fall head over heels for it. From the time it comes on, when that first bass line comes on, I'm like in a trance.
Yes. That's one of my favorites as well. That's one of my favorite sample songs. Lady of My Life, love it. Big fan, MJ fan or whatever. Quincy Jones, blah blah. But the way they used it, they opened it up with the like most recognizable part of the song, that whole little part. And I love the guy, like Terica said, the harmonizations and everything are really great, like butter to the ears. And also love how they're all riffing throughout the song, like they're riffing in the background. That's really cool. And then I love LL Cool J's verses because, like she says, telling a story, telling this love story, this fantasy he's having. I love the video. The video's super nostalgic for me as well. Yeah, I love that. It was one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's like a culmination of what the 90s is. Like you could just look at that song, look at the video, listen to that song, and you just basically get the 90s wrapped up in one.
Mm-hmm. Oof. Good one, Tara.
That was a good one.
Right.
Man, I love the 90s dances. Y'all kill me.
Oh, such a good song.
Okay, so since we taking it to the 90s, I'm glad I had to listen to like 25 because
these 5 are not good because this is your 5th one.
I know.
It's the 4th.
No.
Wait, it's the 4th?
It's her 5th.
This would be Keisha's 4th.
For real? Because she's the first.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, I did ask.
We only did 3.
Let's go and exchange. So yeah, this is 4.
I don't feel like, oh gosh, this is gonna be hard. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, okay, so since we went to the 90s, I'm gonna go with another hip hop classic of the 90s, but I'm taking it to the West Coast with Ice Cube.
I knew it!
It was definitely not a good day for me, but it was a good day. Like that track, when it comes on, I'm like, Isley Brothers, Ice Cube, Isley Brothers, Ice Cube. And then a few seconds like, oh, okay.
Right.
Ice Cube.
Let's talk about how the Isley Brother track, it still goes to this day.
Yes, classic.
Oh my gosh.
It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling.
Ron
It
said
really is.
impeccable. That is amazing.
Right.
I love them.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Cube classic for
Yeah.
sure. That's one. That's kind of like, that's the intro song to Cube to me for people. Like when people are just getting into him for the first time, I feel like that's like the best. I feel like that's the song you play for them or whatever.
Yes. It's cool, laid back. He's telling a story, and all of these like random ass things happen, but it was an amazing day.
Yeah. And all to that smooth, just, you know, funk Isley Brothers.
Right.
What's so crazy is because, you know, the West Coast, Dre is like synonymous with like that G-funk, that ride music, and that was during the time where Cube had kind of went his own way, but it was still that groove that we were familiar with them. He did it his own way with that sample, and I love that song. Crazy enough, this is an honorable mention, and I'm only going to say it here because it's the same sample. It was actually on my list, but it's Usher's One Day You'll Be Mine on the very first album. Well, sorry, the second album. Forget about the first one. On the My Way album, I love this song, and I love the fact that it samples this song. JD produced this song, so again, there goes the genius of JD to use that sample. But that's an honorary mention, and I only mention it again because it samples the same song.
Yeah, and the Isley Brothers, they're like in the top groups that have been sampled. I know they're getting all kinds of checks.
Oh yeah, I mean they're one of the few like older artists that like they embraced the younger generations like very well, you know, with collabing and letting them use their music and everything. So
right, I was about to say so much so that he was in videos and those songs and stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Mr.
Like,
Biggs.
And they've been around forever. Like they've been around a lot longer than a lot of people like realize. Like who didn't grow up on it? Yeah. But okay, so mine is a song produced by Kanye West. Kanye West is one of my favorite producers, and it's a hip hop song by Twista called "Overnight Celebrity."
I knew it.
And they sample Lenny Williams' "Cause I Love You," which is one of my favorite like soul classics. A great vocal performance from Lenny. I feel like that man should have gotten all kind of awards for that song alone. But anyways, it's Twista. Well, it's just Twista. I was about to say Twista and Kanye. Well, Kanye's featured in it, right? On the hook or whatever. But one of my favorites by him, the way the sample is used. Again, like the way Kanye takes the opening of the song, and then like he speeds it up. And then makes a little chipmunk sound with Lenny's voice. It's like all dramatic at the beginning, and then it goes into the ride beat, like the beat like kind of rides. And then in the middle of the song, he goes back to like Lenny like cutting up like with the chipmunk voice, and like the way he used that sample throughout the whole song is just amazing to me. And all the and that violin he added throughout. I forgot her name. That girl.
Ari something. It's like Marie Ari Benz.
Yeah, something like that. But her soloing and riffing throughout the song and stuff that kind of like complemented the original song that it sampled.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of my favorites, and it takes me back. It was like 03, 04, and that was around that time that like Kanye was kind of like hitting the scene as an artist, and then Twista had like those string of hits, and it just reminds me of like a certain time in life. So yeah.
Same.
I will say that I was laughing when you said that because I was just telling the girl that does my hair a joke the other day. I think I might have been in elementary school and my mom was listening to Lenny Williams, "Cause I Love You," and there's a part in there where he says, "I watched television until TV went off." And my mom loves to tell this story. She said that I looked at her and I said, "Well, Mama, why he just didn't cut the TV back on?" I didn't realize, you know, back then
right.
a certain time went off. But I always laugh every time I
Could you imagine? Ugh.
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
That's hilarious. But yeah, Lenny Williams deserves all his roses for sure.
And I love also the way Kanye used that sample, he used like multiple parts of the song in that song. Like it wasn't, because a lot of samples mainly just use one part over and over, but he almost produced a new song out of it. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's very layered as well. But yeah.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah. Y'all, this was hard, but I wanted to stay with like groups that were sampled heavily. I think Keisha went to the Isleys. I'm gonna go over to the DeBarges.
Yes.
DeBarge family. Everybody knows one of the best samples out there is their song "Stay With Me." Biggie did that on One More Chance. Probably it is a party starter for sure. If you don't hear that at a throwback party, you ain't really partying. But then also we've heard that same sample used with the Shanties remakes. And then they also have other songs that have been sampled as well and made into huge hits. But One More Chance for me just reminds me of a time period like most of these songs do. Being in a groove, you put it on now, people going, people know the song line from line, word for word. Stay With Me, like they sound so good on that record. It's just a groove. I think it's crazy to see how that song was a big hit when it came out. Actually, it was an album hit, but it was like a standout album. And for it to be like that and then to come back so many years later and then do the same thing, and then hold on, wait a minute, it's a 22, come back again in like the early 2000s with the Shanti and still give you that same feeling. So it has been recycled many times over. And it's not just those two songs. People have used other ones. Use that song.
There's so many.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were going to pick one of the other ones. Honestly,
you thought I was going to do Dream?
Yeah, because that's my song.
Bonnie sounded amazing on that record, but that was sampled by Tupac. I Ain't Mad at You and Blackstreet's Stay With Me? No.
Don't Leave.
Look at me. Boy, did we just say the other day when people say Genuine song differences, they say My Whole Life Has Changed.
Right.
Hilarious. But yeah, that's my DeBarge song that I'm gonna go with, and One More Chance.
Okay, so now we're on the fifth song. This is the finale.
Whoa.
Okay, so I have like so many songs to choose from.
I know. And we can name some of our honorary mentions, I guess, because I'm torn.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm like,
I'm torn between the two, and I really want to.
But
another segue.
I'm gonna go with it's October. I'm a big OVO Drake fan, so I had to have Aubrey on my list. So of course I got, he samples a lot, but I got Nice for What because that was one song where I literally screamed whenever I heard it the first time. And I heard Lauryn Hill, like, you have this bounce track, this, fun, upbeat dance track, and then you got Lauryn Hill X Factor in the background. And I'm like, oh, what is this? Do I want to get my feelings? Do I want to twerk? Do I want to cry? Like, what is happening? And then you hear Big Frida yelling at you, so you gotta twerk. So it's like,
right. I love when songs do that, like when they're kind of like opposed to each other almost.
Yeah, the juxtaposition is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved all the feelings, even though it was kind of overwhelming, gotta throw that ass in the circle instead of cry, right?
Right.
I just said this the other day. I think I tweeted this. X Factor is like a diary entry to music. Like, I could imagine somebody writing that, or me writing that. No, I'm just like writing that in their diary and then going in the booth. Like, you can relate so well to that song if you've been in a relationship that's just like up and down, and like, just a well-written song.
It could all be so simple.
But you'd rather make it hard.
Don't they?
That applies to everything in life.
Right.
Right.
To our own, we can say that to ourselves in the mirror.
Right.
It all be so simple, but you rather make it hard.
Exactly.
Seriously. Good pick.
Well,
I was telling her good pick.
Oh, that is a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
My last number 5 for today is another song produced by Kanye West.
Okay.
And I didn't realize I had picked 2 that was produced by him, but he's one of the sample kings, I guess you could say.
He is.
Yeah, especially earlier in his career for sure. But this is actually later, probably about a couple years ago. You guys might not be familiar with it, but it's by Christina Aguilera. It was on her last album, Liberation. The song is called Maria. It samples this song by Michael Jackson called Maria. But it's little Michael Jackson, like one of his solo songs from Motown when he was a child. And the way the sample is used is like it impresses me so much because it's one of those few, I don't think I've really heard too many like it, or maybe it's not coming to mind, but one of those few, again, he uses multiple parts of the song throughout the whole song. He cuts up multiple parts, but what she writes about, the sample almost helps tell the story of what she's talking about. So the sample is just as much part of the writing and the story as like her lyrics are. And I found that so interesting the way he used that. And when you guys listen to it, you'll see like there's a lot of call and responses. There's a lot of her responding to what's being said in the sample and stuff like that. Like it's really cool. And it's one of my favorite like solo Child Michael songs. Like a lot of people don't know that stuff from him, but he has a lot of great stuff that's like right for sampling that a lot of people like need to dig into. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. And it was a great vocal performance from her, great song subject and everything. And yeah, it was a surprise. It wasn't a surprise that Kanye did it, but it was a surprise when I heard it because I have always wanted that song to be sampled. And then when I heard that, I was like, whoa. And then not on top of that, it was used very well and very creatively. So
I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah. Put me up on something.
Yep.
You. So y'all, this is so difficult. Like, why do we say 5?
I don't know. I mean, I guess because 10 would be too long.
I know, but it's so difficult.
I guess we can just add the extras on the playlist, right?
Maybe if once I finish.
I'll mention one honorable mention.
Okay, I have a few.
Right, I was just about to say, can I just name them off without like getting into it? Just list them.
If y'all want to. I mean, I know we said we might do this again with some different ones.
I don't know. I got to get them off my chest. No,
right.
Go ahead.
So.
What's your last one?
I know, y'all. Okay.
It's hard, ain't it?
So I'm torn between the two, and I really want to be with you. No, I'm joking. I'm actually gonna go with, and I wasn't gonna go with this one, but I am now. I'm gonna go with Chris Brown's "Undecided." It just feels so good. It's just lighthearted. It's like it feels fun and bubbly. It samples Shanice's record, "I Love Your Smile." I am a big Shanice fan. Always have been. I think she's one of the most underrated vocalists of our time. I put her in the same box with Tamia. Is just a vocal powerhouse, but doesn't always get her roses or her flowers. And I feel like to sample that song was chef kisses. The song for me, for Chris, it was just like bubbly and fun. It was just a cute record, and I love the fact that he sampled that song, and I just love it. That's it. It just makes me feel good. So I picked that one.
I love Shanice's song a lot, and that's all I have to say to that one.
I love both. I like what Chris did with it. I love the video and everything. That was just a good moment.
No, it was. I do like the way they use the sample. I do.
So yeah, I wasn't gonna go with that one, but we can kick off.
I feel like you could have went with something else.
No, no, it just feels good, and I really like that song, and I feel like
it does feel good,
and I feel like it educated a lot of the newer generation about Shanice, and who she was, and like she was a teen bop, like a teen sensation at one point, and she just does not get her flowers like that, and I feel like doing that shed some light on her and her career. And so I love the fact that he did that. And I feel like for Chris to do that, I mean, he might not have even thought about what it would do for her in her career. He probably was like, oh, that's just a good sample. And actually, what is his name? Scott Storch is behind this as well. He's one of the producers for this. So, could be an idea to do that.
Nice.
So maybe we mention a few of her.
Okay, 3 honorable mentions.
I only have one because I had only prepared 5.
Ooh.
Oh man, I got a lot.
Because I cut them down because we said 5.
Okay.
So just one? You want me to just say one?
I'm okay. Rashad, do your one. And
all right.
The detail. Just tell us what it is.
Yeah, because the only reason I got one is because Keisha said something that reminded me of the song. But when you picked the K&P song, or Key and Peele, but no, nobody got that.
I used to watch that.
Okay, good. But anyways, when you said that song, it reminded me of another classic skate ring song by Ghost Town DJs, my boo.
No, you don't go there. I knew it.
And Sierra Body Party. And I mean, the way that sample was used is so good. They slowed it down. They made it a R&B slow jam. Because the original song is like a party dance song, but they made just like an R&B sexy slow jam. And her vocals over it are very, very good. And it's just a good song. It's a cool song. It was a big hit for her. And yeah, I loved it.
Remember, we were extremely upset because I think that was before the Grammys changed the rule about sampling and being.
Yeah.
We were like, man, she should have been nominated, but
she definitely should have been nominated for that song. Yeah,
absolutely, that was a really good.
It was a good one.
Yeah, shout out to JD again, Ghost Town DJs.
Right.
Also Deaf back in the day. Shout out to him. That man has had a string of success.
Right, especially with that track, because didn't they it came back with the little dance craze the kids was doing, and they didn't even know it was a song. And I was just like, do you not know the real song?
Yeah, because they started doing mixes on the radio with like the original and then Sierra's version. They started doing all kind of stuff with it.
Right.
Yeah. Keisha, okay, go ahead. We're gonna go back and forth. We got our 3. Let's go.
Oh, okay. So we gonna play tennis.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So first one, Mo Money, Mo Problems. Diddy, I'm coming out. Diana Ross. Had to have Bad Boy on the list.
All right. So mine would be Foxy Brown, Get You Home Tonight. But it's actually Eugene Wild, Gotta Get You Home Tonight as well. So Blackstreet is on there. Nostalgic. All right.
Okay. I had to get a Kanye track on here. We know Kanye loves MJ. So I did Good Life, and that is sampling PYT by Michael Jackson.
Like that. I'm going to go with... Ooh, okay. So I'm going to go with Montel Jordan, Get It On Tonight. And also at that time, Brat did What Do You Like, which they were the same sample from Claudia Berry, Love for the Sake of Love. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the 90s track. So For Real, Every Little Thing. The Gap Band was sampled, outstanding for that. Cool. Yeah, next.
Oh boy, y'all running me. I'm gonna go with Angie Stone, No More Rain. She sampled Gladys Knight's in the Pimp. In the Pimp. I used to do that as a kid, but she sampled Gladys Knight in the Pips, Neither One of Us, which is my all-time favorite Gladys Knight song.
And I'm just gonna throw another one in since you just reminded me of another one. Angie Stone, the other one, that sampled what was the name of it? It sampled the OJ's Backstabbers, but
which I didn't
Miss You.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
see, we all got it.
Right. I really like that song, and yeah, OJ's. That's one of my favorite OJ songs as well.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, we gotta do okay, and we have to say it because we didn't say it. But Tory Lanez Say It, Brownstone. If You Love Me, we have to.
Not one of my
Anyways,
favorites.
on to the next one.
Right, not one of my favorites, but I love the Brownstone song.
Yeah.
But
I do too.
yeah, but the Tory Lanez song, I was like, oh, okay.
One of the few that I like by him.
But the fact that he didn't know the song prior to doing the song is crazy to me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he didn't know the song at all before doing it.
Well,
Not
he's
surprised.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways, California Love, Tupac, he sampled Joe Cocker, Woman to Woman, and California Love's classic.
absolutely. I'm gonna. Dang, I feel like I got.
You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Like you do this one, and then we do one more.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Janet Jackson. That's the way love goes. She samples James Brown. Papa Don't Take No Mess, which is crazy that they took that that song is so hype for James Brown and like up tempo, and then to slow it down and make it that mellow groove like that.
Yeah. Okay. The last one. This is so hard.
I know.
Okay, so I'm gonna just go with Mace. Feels so good, Everybody knows Hollywood Swinging.
I'm gonna do my last one. Will be the Jacksons' Heartbreak Hotel. It was sampled by Ideal. They did a song called Creepin', and Tank also did use that sample for You're My Star. But I like both of those records. And Rashad, don't do that. Fix your face.
I love the Jacksons' Heartbreak Hotel. I'll just say that.
That bass line.
Yeah.
I'm surprised neither one of you all said SWV right here.
Oh, I mean that's obvious.
All right.
WUVAS. WUV.
Oh, and nobody said her either. Could have been. That was a Take 6 sample.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, one of my favorite groups.
There's a whole history of sampling that, we can dig into again, I feel like. But yeah.
Well, who's going to take
Oh, okay. Well, are we done?
I thought you were going to finish.
Yeah, we thought you were taking us out. Go ahead.
Well, thank you everybody for watching Just Two Girls Who Work Together and That Guy. I still get confused on that. But please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for tuning in this week. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.